dome, Monday morning coffee, strong pouring everything you got into a paycheck Friday night. You're a power stroke, diesel backhoe riding king, 18-wheeler driving, living life in between the lines of clocking in and quitting time. Then the six-string circus comes to town. We hang them.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. In today's matchup, we should have a fun one on our hands. It's the Steelers coming in at 9-2, going up against the Giants, who come in at 9-2. So let's get you up to the Steel City. Standing by in Pittsburgh, here are Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, at Heinz Field. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the New York Giants and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. The wide receivers, often a very, very talented group, and that's the case here.
And they don't mind showcasing it either. Those guys love to be flashy, love to make big plays out in the open field. They will attempt to do so in this game.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On second down, here's Smith. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And they talked about how important the passing game was going to be against that defensive look. Good job there, going to the air for the first down.
It's all about preparation. It's all about planning. And then it's about execution. So they put it all together in practice. Okay, this is what we think we're going to see. This is how they get to it. And then when the game comes, read it and attack it.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Now a first down throw. It's Smith. And he finds a man on a crossing route. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. And the starting defensive unit here for Pittsburgh.
Stephon Tuitt's ability to play defensive end, yet rise up and knock passes away when quarterbacks try to throw them, he makes it hard to get around.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Now it's Smith. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
On first down, it's Gurley. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Another carry now for Gurley. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. The defense came out with a look that they had prepped for all week to attack. They took advantage, got the first down.
And the key words in there, prepped for all week. They really studied them, understood their tendencies, knew what they liked to do, and prepared their game plan accordingly. And boy, the payoff was good.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. From the red zone now, Smith. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
This now play number 9 on the opening drive, but it's 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Smith. And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So the Giants now are going to turn it over to their field goal unit. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good. And the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. They go play action here on first down. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. He got 29 yards that time. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son. And then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
That play was well covered. Just tried to check it down. Unfortunately, not able to find any yardage on that one.
Second down, here's Roethlisberger. His throw incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, and now it's third down. And another deflection there for Rodgers-Cromartie, Charles.
He is so long in the parlance of the game today, has such length. He doesn't have to be in perfect position all the time, but he can stretch out an arm and help flick a pass away, and he's done that multiple times in this game.
On third down, Roethlisberger. He rifles one that's intercepted. The rookie J-Ron Curse with a pick. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. After the interception, here's Smith. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it. An in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
Second down here after the incomplete pass. Out of the gun, Smith. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with a football here as we begin quarter number 2. They've got a third down and a yard to start things out. So still in search of the first down after that last completion. They come out here in the eye. They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on Ford.
I know it's the first half, but it's still hard to curb the enthusiasm for that stop. 3rd and 1, and the offense can't get there. The defensive team has got to feel very good about themselves. Great job out leveraging the offense.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. He's got time. Now trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now Gurley. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Second down and 4. From the gun, here's Smith. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 4. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Throwing now is Geno. He's got time in the pocket, and this is complete. It's Marshall. And he's brought down, but not before reaching the 8-yard line. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
First down and goal. The offense knocking on the door. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up second and goal.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Second and goal from the 5. Another try on second down with Gurley. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
This defense hasn't let him in yet. They'll need to stiffen here. Third and goal from the 2. They'll try and push it in with Gurley. And he is in. Touchdown, Giants. Todd Gurley, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. Able to punch it in on third down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a fourth down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time, one play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards on the pickup, and it's good enough for a Pittsburgh first down. And an electric scamper there from the second-round pick in 2013 out of Michigan State.
And how about the way he's remade his body in the NFL? You remember back at Michigan State, big, thick, bruising runner. Yeah, he had some speed, he had some agility, but now he's slimmed down and he's gotten even quicker, which has led to more runs like the one we just saw there.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
They come up with one running back. That's Bell. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver, because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone, sometimes you're throwing it between the zones, sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. Now Roethlisberger on first down. Over the middle here to Brown. And a loose football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. And New York set to take the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Now Smith going for the deep ball. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Giants. Odell Beckham, his 11th touchdown on the year. And the Giants add on to their lead. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. So what are you, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
They're going to hurry back to the line now. Now it's Roethlisberger. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's second down.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
So 2nd and 10 here. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Throwing left side, it's complete. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Everything about that play was beautiful. A great corner route where the receiver worked the defensive back inside and then broke back to the outside to the corner. But how about the throw by the quarterback? Anticipation on the break from inside to outside. He threw the football. As the receiver turned around, the ball greeted him.
This is Bell on the dump off. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal in the red zone this time. 1st and goal here from the 9. Now Bell. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Now it's Roethlisberger. And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return will stop him well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line. Now New York set to take the field. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these 2 teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And a nice run to get this up over the 20-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call? Yeah. We'll find out pretty quickly here if they felt like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 15 yards there on the catch and run. And now they're in the hurry-up. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Roethlisberger will throw. Goes underneath for Bell. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a third down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Man, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Here's Roethlisberger, and able to find Green. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A big play that time for Pittsburgh, and even 40 yards. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Now a first down carry by Bell. And eventually brought down, but it's near the 5 at the 6. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Only a yard that time, second and goal.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense, they've met pretty much every challenge in front of them this afternoon.
They're still trying to run the ball, but they're not finding much space.
On second down, Roethlisberger. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's third down.
Well, an incomplete pass certainly doesn't look like a good play. For the guy throwing it today, as many interceptions he's thrown, he's got to feel a sigh of relief that the ball actually hit the ground and didn't go in the other direction.
Got to figure this is one they need here on third and goal. On third and goal, Roethlisberger. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Antonio Brown, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit. So on third and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. establish the run game here. Gurley. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Gurley again here on first down. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Let's see what the offense comes with here. 2nd and 8. A shotgun snap for Smith. Over the middle to Beckham. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. They come out here in the eye. On the counter, Gurley uses the stiff arm. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. But at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. 20. Throws left side, complete to Brandon Marshall. A good pickup there, a 22.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Now it's Gurley. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. But 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown, you're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Giants with the football and also the lead as we get set to start quarter number 4. From the 4, it's 2nd and goal. Back to the workhorse today. It's Gurley. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. And in this situation with the lead, 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7.
And he takes it into the end zone for a giant TD. Todd Gurley, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Antonio Brown, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Got a man open. It's Darius Hayward-Bay. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Second and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. And Green with a catch left side. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks, because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Again on second and 10, it's Roethlisberger. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22.
There's no doubt about it. That's just one of the best connections in the league. Big Ben throwing it to Antonio Brown, and Antonio Brown has turned himself into such a player. A low-round draft pick, but you can't beat his determination or work ethic, and Big Ben welcomes that.
And Big Ben won a Super Bowl at 23, youngest ever to do so, has never looked back. Got his man, it's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Antonio Brown, his 10th touchdown of the season, second of the game. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Extra point now by Boswell. It's up and good, so they claw back into it. 24-14 now. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And the Giants ready to come out now. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way, because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. A beautiful fake. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Now on second down, this is Gurley. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Throwing now is Geno. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that at just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
So incomplete on second down. Now they'll look to convert here on third. Throwing on third down, Smith. He's going to wind up and air it out. He was looking for Odell Beckham that time. And it brings up fourth down.
I'm laughing to myself because I could just hear in film session, but Coach, I was throwing it to Odell Beckham Jr. Of course I thought he was open.
They'd love to go deep downfield to him, though. Such a threat.
Yeah, a rare incompletion because most of the time we expect him to actually come up with the catch.
And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
They go play action here on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Devon Kennard in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. Throw left side is complete to Rodgers. Fresh set of downs here. On first down, it's Roethlisberger. Over the middle here to Brown. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. So the incomplete pass brings up second down. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Roethlisberger throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was trying to find Ladarius Green there as tight end. Third down here.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and react into the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked by the rookie, B.J. Goodson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning. They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And he will be stopped here for no gain, and that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning. So still a full 10 yards to go here for the offense on third down. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. From the gun on third down, Smith. He finds Beckham complete. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A great job pulling that one in from a guy. And the Steelers signal for another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Smith going to throw it. He's going to loft one deep left side here. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. And Pittsburgh with 6 defensive backs in the game here on third down. Now Geno. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down. Here's Brad Wing now as he's on to punt for New York. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again. But they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly. Then they'll take it from there.
They come out 5 wide. 3 of them to the right side. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Eli Apple was a top 10 pick in the 2016 draft. And one of the reasons, his ability to get better. Because remember, he's a young guy. And they just figured he could go ahead and grow. A redshirt sophomore when he came out. He's growing at a pretty good rate. How about that play right there?
Very nice pass deflection. Man open left side is Brown. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there. One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play, and guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Here's Roethlisberger. This is Bell on the dump off. That one goes for 24 yards.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
You know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Now it's Roethlisberger. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Now a handoff for Gurley. And he is going to lose yardage here. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
One of the beauties of a 3-4 defense is that you have flexibility with your linebackers, and you can put them in different spots. An offensive team is committed to running the football. You can get your big offensive linemen up on linebackers quicker, and that usually gives you an advantage in running it.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Smith now to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Here's Brad Wing now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. One last shot for Roethlisberger, surveying the field. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. A great read, and it's picked off. And that will write a finish to this ball game. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Giants, they continue to be one of the best teams around as they move to 10-2. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, it's a loss that could wind up costing them a first-round bye as they dip to 9-3. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we sign off from Heinz Field.